Okay, we are back on Grim Nasty TV. This is part 2 of Astral Assholes. Alright, so what we established by going through all this, seeing all this, suddenly at the end, the queen was like, I'm going to come see you tonight and all this, and for real. And I said, wow. And this was this last night. She's like, take a shower, do all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, this shit's really finna happen, right? So I'm walking down the hill with her after it's all over, and then she stops, and I keep walking, all right? So when I get on the bus, I turn around, and he says, let's get this party started. And I turn around, and he's sitting there, like, acting all tough and shit, and I'm like, just looking at him like, nah. So then he leaves. So he wanted to scare me. And the reason why The Rock is doing that is since the YouTube video, and then after that, he's been trying to show up around and stuff like that, acting like he was cool just like everybody else. And now they were attempting to try to attack me and stuff like that. Now what happened is that I realized that I had control over all of these motherfuckers, bro. Because every time they came at me, I'm like, oh, no, go eat yourself and beat yourself 10 million times. These motherfuckers literally punching themselves in the face into a bone show over and over. And I said, when you're done, go do it again another 10 million times. These motherfuckers go and do it. Thor comes in here. I said, no, you can't come in here. You're not allowed. Go beat yourself and eat yourself 10 million times. He goes and does it. Fuck. They're all fucked. So I see now I'm the king. I'm the guy that tells them what to do, and they just go do it. See what I mean? They can't do shit. Like nothing. Like these motherfuckers hate me because I can control them like puppets. And every time I see one, I'm like, nope. If they try to scratch me, it forms scratches on them. Anytime they try to do something, it happens to them automatically just because I wanted it to be that way. I'll say, oh yeah, if you think about messing with me, go take a trip to the ice rink and beat yourself 50 million times. These motherfuckers are doing it, dude. They're doing it. I was like, oh, bow, go start eating yourself. You showed up, go eat yourself and then beat yourself. And I said, oh, no, go eat each other. So they do it. And then they heal back. And then they come at and say, hey. And I'm like, go eat yourself and beat yourself 10 million more times. They're doing it, dude. Everybody in here is doing what I say, including Thor, bro. I have his hammer right here on my table. And it's an astral hammer. Like, it's over here. I see it. And he comes back for it. And then I'm like, nah, this is my shit now. Now go eat yourself and beat yourself again. He goes and does it. The queen that has a hack in her head, I explained to her that she's been brainwashed and she has been beating his ass all over the farm, bro. This dude can't get a break, bro. Every time he like shows his face, I'm like, nope, the queens, all 7 of them finna go beat your ass now. They start beating the fuck out of this dude, bro. Wow. Unbelievable, okay? So everybody was lying, okay? And this Thor guy has, this Lucifer Thor, whoever the fuck, has been lying. And he's got many covers, and he's smart enough to have all these covers and shit, and all the covers are blown. And now he's standing around looking like a little kid. And I realized, dude, you're my fucking son. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth sets you free. The fictions is nonsense. So when I thought he was my dad, he invited all these people over here, and then they started talking about, the Meaning of Life movie. Then they started saying, oh, I got a good idea for a movie. Mickey Mouse dies. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit like that. And I was wondering, I was like, how come he's not like beating their asses over this shit? And I started realizing he was lying the whole time since the very beginning. So that's fucked up, right? Imagine all that shit that went on, the sculptures, everything, the whole shit, just so this motherfucker tell lies. So this dude obviously was stuck in here, all right? Where you at? Go eat yourself, beat yourself 50 million more times. Bye-bye. And he just came back, and now I'm making him go hurt himself again because he needs to think about, what this golden rule really means, These motherfuckers, like, they need to be eradicated because I'm pro-life. And I'm doing my job because I want people to be about pro-life, around me. So I can destroy these fucks. But these motherfuckers are all about death. They just need to go fucking deal with themselves, pretty much. So that's pretty much what's going to happen. After I fucking got all these motherfuckers busted, Mickey Mouse had to fight like 50 motherfuckers, bro. This motherfucker jumped out of my body into a streamlined astral scene that looked like a video game, and this motherfucker was just wah, 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 wah. And Thor shows up. He says, where do you think you got all that power from? You know what I mean? They play the Cats in the Cradle and Silver Spoon on the radio, like nonstop. They want me to think this dude is my dad, but that shit wasn't true, bro. This motherfucker is a little kid. He's a cherub. So you got to understand is that he can't be my dad. If I'm the king, see what I'm saying? I was wondering, it's like, why is it all twisted like that? That doesn't make any sense. Like I wouldn't marry, you know what I'm saying, the queen unless, you know what I mean? And then, you know, the uncle or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like it just seemed weird. It didn't add up. None of the shit add up, but now everything is adding up. It's because I know that the real queen, you know what I mean? The real one, she was just here and she showed me, and the root chakra didn't insult her. So the root chakra is insulting people who ain't worth shit because the root chakra is become psychically aware. And I thought he was negative. I've been calling Mr. Negative and root and shit like that. I even got in a fight with him. This motherfucker was warning me that everybody in here was full of shit. He was warning me. And the only people he insulted were the people that needed it. That was it. He even insulted her multiple times. And I was trying to figure out, what is his problem, bro? He even kneed her in the face. And I was like, what the fuck? She goes in there, makes love to him in the astral form because he's in the astral room, all right? And she's trying to keep him from, getting too irate because eventually I start taking notice and wondering why is he so mad at all these motherfucking people, But yeah, that's wise because this motherfucker was smart. The whole time he was like, nope, I don't like them. Nope, I don't like them. I'm an asshole. I don't like them. And that's what was going on. So the real one showed up and he didn't say shit to her. He was just like quiet. Then when she came back, I was working on her. I was like, look, you know what I mean? Just come back. She told me to use a paintbrush. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. Just like the damn shit said. So she's normal, but kind of like you have a root chakra or whatever that's agitated or whatever. It doesn't have any effect on her. The real one. The ones in the inside of the domes apparently have been affected somehow. Whatever ones that were accessible or not closed off or whatever have you. But yeah, so that's what's going on. That's why she's sleeping with these devils. I asked her, I said, so do you like sleeping with these devils? She's like, nah. And I was like, oh shit. She said, no, she doesn't like sleeping with them. And I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, so So now the whole shit is busted, and the real queen was sitting behind what would be like a doppelgagged queen, and then the doppelgagged queen started acting funny, and I was like, man, you know what? I don't believe you. And then she sat there and looking at me like I was like crazy. Everybody sat around like, oh shit. And then Thor was smiling because he thought that I was gonna feel like the walls were closing in on me, like I had nobody. And I was like, nah, bruh, I don't believe you. And they were like, oh shit. Yeah, and then I went outside and Mr. Cheeks was smiling like a motherfucker. And then, remember all three of them in my astral space? They all showed up scowling, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to you, queen, because we need to get you cleaned up and then in the meantime, just beat this dude's ass, and then, you know what I'm saying? And she's been doing it. Like, she's been throwing him all over the farm. He gets exhausted. He's like, oh, no more. And I'm just like, oh, go get him 10 more million times, And he hasn't been back yet. He hasn't been back yet since I told him to go beat himself 50 million more times. So he comes back again, I'm gonna whoop him again. So there it is. He's a kid. He's not powerful. He doesn't have power over Mickey Mouse. It's fucked up, but that he lies like that. But he's been lying his ass off this whole fucking time, dude. This dude has been dedicated to try to go against his own mother, man. And that's pretty fucking disrespectful and sad. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you see her doing that seems questionable, it's all programmed into the chakras of her, like to manipulate their personalities. It's kind of like how my root chakra was. It was out of balance, insulting people. But maybe the root chakra was right, the whole time. And it was pointing out questionable people. So, yep, all these celebrities showed up, and they were all like, please don't tell we're here. And then one of them said, I'm going to sue you for defamation because he was just in court. Johnny Depp, he goes, man, oh yeah, that stuff with that woman, that's all bullshit. He said it right out of his mouth. And I was like, yeah, I thought so. And he was smiling like I knew better. Yep. Jim Carrey was over here. He was aging. I seen him show up with a beard first, and then he turned into the cable guy age. the gray beard version. And then he digressed into a young, living color of Jim Carrey, sat over in the corner, smiling about everything. He's like, man, you're going to spin around just like Mask and all this stuff. And they were all fucking very convincing at first. See what I mean? This dude right here, he's got serious. This Rock dude, bro, this dude has got serious, insecure, fucking, I don't know. It's like this, it's a front. He's like overcompensating and he's really weak. He's like a super weak ass dude, bro. He was so weak that when I fucking went down the line criticizing, most of these motherfuckers laughed about it, but he was just like fucking super pissed. Like, what do you mean I'm not inspirational? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean I ain't this and that? What do you mean all this stuff about me? And eventually he had nothing to say because I kept going in on these motherfuckers. It was like the queen was like, they showed up to be judged. That was it. That was it. They showed up to be judged. And then she showed me my powers and all this shit. Like, it's like she says a few words and then she disappears. And then the things that didn't add up, I was wondering, like, I was like, how do you not know about what love is? You know, she's telling me, like, I want you to show me, what true love is and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, you would already know that. How come you don't know that? It don't make any sense. She never answered me because she's got a deficiency that's making her do the stuff that she's doing. So, and from my understanding, she was changed with a paintbrush. Yeah, inside of this fantasy world that you create shit. So I'm supposed to fix her back. That's what's getting ready to happen. Yep. I've got control over everybody, even all the queens and everything in here. I can tell them, hey, go and fucking do all this shit and go whoop these dudes now. And she's doing it. And she's showing me, like, look, I'm fucking smashing these domes and shit. I'm like, wow. So this is changing. I'm already told her, I said, you can't sleep with these devils no more. And she's like, she started crying. And then I said, no. You ain't supposed to do that with these people. The main version of you don't like it. So you need to stop it. You need to stop messing with them immediately. And she's like, huh. And she thought about it. And I said, so do you want to mess with them? She said, nah. See what I mean? It's like she's got some kind of deficiency inside of her. And that's what it is. It's not necessarily a doppelganger. It's just they changed her preferences as to who she finds like respectable. So she shows up at 12 to the people that she can meet or whatever, and everybody else cut off from her. And then when they start acting like their true selves, then she supposedly runs away. So but what point if she's wise, would she need to come back again and to run away again? You understand what I'm saying? Is that something's wrong with something happened to her? I was walking up the hill to this trailer. She was walking next to me, kind of like confused. Like she was, and I said, the shit that's happening here is technically kind of like your fault, right? Because and she was like, what do you mean it's my fault? And I was like, oh shit. I said, you know that you're sleeping with devil worshippers. And she was like, huh? And I was like, oh fuck. She didn't know what she's, oh my gosh. So, yeah, that's, yeah, it's funny. Kevin Hart laughs when I say, oh my God, like he does. He just smiles and shit. And I made fun of him. I said, man, because he was like trying to crack jokes. And I said, oh man, what's real funny over there is I see all these faces, but then I just see black, 2 eyes and a smile. It's just, and he smiles, he laughs about it, like it's funny. But yeah. So what I learned is that the astral space, I learned so much shit, and I can reach into the astral space and give them things, but they can't do anything that I don't give them, and I have full control over them. So I'm literally like Sylvester, he wanted to buy a vial of my sperm for $1 million. And and he was just bullshitting, but he really wanted it, and so did Adam Sandler. So when she was just here, he comes walking out of this area over here, like walking because I was doing that with her. So it's like he's interested in it, and I'm just like, dude, if you were really interested in it, you would have given me $1 million already. He's like, oh man, can I have that bag of poop? And I was like, yeah. He said, I'll give you $1 million for it. I said, here's my PayPal. Anybody that wants it, I'll ship it to them right now. They were bullshitting, but they do want the shit. They want it. They all want to eat it and all kind of shit. It's nasty. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I get it if it's a sexual thing, but I mean, in general, it's just like, I don't see the value in like eating poop, but maybe I just don't understand, maybe it could be protein in it. I don't fucking know. But, yeah, like these people, they're weird, they eat hair and shit and all kind of shit. It's just weird. So I was listening to Benny the Butcher. He comes out of the refrigerator in the astral space, and then he follows me to my bus, and I stop and I turn around and look at him. I said, "Nah, man, you can't come in here." And then he disappears. But yeah, he was like, "Man, thanks for listening to my song and all that. That Long Way song, that shit's banging." And I was just like, "Yeah, that's dope, right?" He comes out and just recently when I exposed all of them in the first video, he comes out trying to shoot me. I caught the bullet in my teeth, spit it back at him, shot him in the face. Then he comes with a machine gun, caught all the bullets in my teeth, just like that masked villain dude, shot it back at him out of my mouth and blew his ass away. See what I'm saying? I can control all of them. And then when they show up, I say, "Oh, if you think about hitting me, the moment it hits your mind, start beating yourself and then start eating yourself." And they do it. So I'm controlling everything. This is why these people are scared of Mickey Mouse, is because Mickey Mouse is almost like a god in here, and he's the king, and he's got a throne in that castle up there. That castle is my castle with the queen, the real queen. See what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be up there. So somehow this Thor dude, he was jealous of me, and he wanted to try to take my place and act like he was the king and shit. And that's the reason why he's doing that. And the fiction is this begotten son thing. And I was like, nah. It's like, even when I still thought that he was my dad, I said, no, I ain't begotten nobody. I'm grown. Everybody paused. This motherfucker come out doing this ritual like he floated in this suit. And I was just like, are you fucking selling me out? Steven Spielberg comes in. Like, and what about a movie like Mickey Mouse Dies or whatever? This dude here, Quentin Tarantino, shakes with him, saying that they would co-produce The Meaning of Life together and make a very interesting mix of edginess and quirkiness that you would imagine when there are two movies, Goonies, and then fucking, the movies that he makes like Pulp Fiction, and then would come together and make a really badass movie. But they're just bullshitting. So in the end, when this opportunity really takes foot, I need to know who's who in here. I need to know everything. So what she's been doing is bullshitting around with them, and me being blind, I think I'm going somewhere and doing something. But the reality is that whatever I do puts them in a situation where they lose, and that's what's been happening. I don't see it. It's like a fog. You just go walking like you're blind, and then everything happens. We were watching Ozark together. She showed up and showed me. She says, "You don't have to marry all 7. They're all in me." When Minnie Mouse showed up, it was her inside of it because it's the head. See what I'm saying? So, so they all don't fit in one. One goes on top of the whole body. So it's the real one in the mini suit. So, yeah. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. So I noticed something was wrong. This Russian one said that, oh yeah, the black one, the epic queen lady, oh man, she's like our servant. And I was like, what? She said, she's like a servant compared to us. I said, man, that's fucking racist, man. What the fuck? She said, you're like our servant too. I said, no, I'm not. I do this because, so I started noticing inconsistencies, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I started figuring out what was wrong. But she told me straight up, she's like, yeah, eventually I'm gonna let you go to the center of the earth and then, just fix me with a paintbrush and then it'll be done. But I ain't gonna let none of these people fuck with you and all that. Just take it easy and all that. I was just like, wow. So yeah, like this is the only reason that they're seeing me is because they're being judged, because I'm the one that's supposed to have it out for them. But then when I act nice to them at first, it shows the true colors, and then she doesn't have any guesswork as to, she's like, I could see her grinning and shit at me when I say this, like her paint. Oh my gosh, her picture is coming to life. It's moving. Oh yeah, so I took the painting of Thor, trashed it, took his sculpture, smashed it. At this point, it's not valuable if it's not worth anything, if it's not respectable, if it's not worth your time, I'm not gonna produce it. You understand? Is that I smashed the shit. And Jim Carrey's face, bro, you should have seen it, bro. This motherfucker was like, damn, he really fucking, oh my gosh. Like he was tripping. I was down by the garage. He was like, what the fuck? Like I smashed the shit. And then the dude, the Thor dude, like he was like crying and shit. Like I was like, nah, bro, you tried to sell me over to these fucking dipshits. Like, how do you not understand that you're a fucking piece of shit right now? That you've been lying all this time, bro. And it's fucked up, man. So, so when I finally found out the truth, the girl that lives here showed up and flipped me off. She was like, now she ain't got no more cards, love. She had some little secrets and shit, but she was pretending, But in the end, none of it would have worked anyways, because she wouldn't allow them to touch me. She said, I ain't even gonna let these motherfuckers touch your ass. like straight up. So you just keep going, and eventually get you to the center of the earth, and then that'll be that. So, um, so everything that I'm doing is according to plan. So when I started, uh, when I was conceived or whatever, I had a habit, and I didn't have breast milk, so I started flicking. I started tongue thrusting, and I would rub my finger on a pillow, right, and I'd hold it like it was a boob or something like that, and I would just fucking rub my finger. So ever since then, when my tongue goes up to the roof, it tongue thrusts and it pushes my pineal gland up. So my whole life was just wake up juice. In patience classes, I started drawing, and I became a good artist. That shit took a shitload of patience. Then I studied the law. That shit took a shitload of patience. And then I was ready to really jump into the real shit with her, because people in here are not able to be really that patient as much as they think. It kind of showed me that, and I realized that people are looking for that easy button. Like they just want, people that want to study law, they want me to teach them for free, shit like that. They don't want to go study their rights. They want to just fall in their lap. And, oh, I got it, Yeah, so it's people are like have a defeatist, doomed to fail mentality in here. It's really bad. And all these celebrities that's supposed to be super intelligent, I made them all look like fucking complete morons. And I went in for about what it seemed like to be several hours, and they were all sitting there just like, holy shit, he's right about us. Like they didn't have nothing to say. They were just sitting there like, oh my gosh. So they came here to be judged. That's the only reason they showed up. They couldn't touch me. They kept trying to do stuff. Him, Mr. Insecure, he was just so fucking like, I mean, it was bad. Like I kept calling him out like, look, you're overcompensating. You don't really think you're all that. You think you're just a chump. You know what I'm saying? You're just a little weak ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You're a weak ass nigga like that. He was just like, whoa. You know what I mean? So he was getting heated. And when the Divine Feminine was coming down to the bus, it was the one with the defect or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna show up tonight and all this. And then The Rock shows up in the bus, and I was just like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? I can tell that somebody was disguising their voice to sound like her too. So this is all kind of crap going on. And I finally figured it all out, and everybody's quiet like crickets. It's bad. You know what I mean? They don't have nothing left. They have no more shit left. Even then, they still couldn't do nothing. And even if I did, like, kill myself, I would just come back, because DNA activation is like blowing up everywhere. Like, what it means is that the chakras have the ability to create a connection between the flesh and the chakras. So you can't die. You know what I'm saying? Because if you did, you would just come back and be Mickey Mouse anyway. Because your DNA activation belonged to a blue man. It means that your flesh and everything and all that is connected to the chakra. But then you got double reinforcement of the shit, because it bleeds out into the flesh. Now you got like double trouble or whatever. So yeah, I'm a big they're really like, holy shit. And I told them, I said, none of y'all are real celebrities. I said, y'all fake, because real celebrities are people that people can be admired. They can admire you and love you, and it's real. You know what I'm saying? And none of these motherfuckers have that. They're all looking at me like I'm the celebrity. And at the end of the day, they have been around for hours, literally just days, hours, just as long as they can, to hear everything I got to say, to hope that they can find something. And then he was like, is he afraid? Is there any fear? And I said, well, you know what? Even if I was scared, any other kid out there in the world, let me tell you right now, your fear isn't bad. Your fear of presumption isn't bad faith. I'm telling you right now, that's not enough to tell you if somebody wants to be eaten or not. So now you got to go and really find out what real fear is. So you know what I mean? Like they get quiet. They're like, fuck. I said, you got to do what I say. I can control you. That's what I'm telling you. So I've been controlling them. That's what's been going on. And everybody quiet. Nobody's here anymore. They're all gone. They've been here for hours just like trying to find something. I even made eggy baskets and passed it up to them so they could eat and all kind of shit. So at first, when things were real chummy and cool, I was expressing how good it would be for everybody to just be cool and be nice and go back to the feminine. She was listening with the doppelgag one sitting next to me, smiling like I'm supposed to believe that she's the one judging, but the queen had other plans, the real one. So she thinks that I'm like totally believing her, but she doesn't really see the future. The future is coming from the real queen. So you understand this is totally tripped out. Those ships up there are from the real queen, and the fake queen has just been altered a little bit. She's not really like fake, but she has she's got she's got like a defect to her chakra. So that's what I found out, and that's why she's sleeping with these Satanists. So, yep, that's why. So now the more you know. No, 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 no. So yeah, I seen Mickey because they kept trying to mess with him. So Mickey was just fucking all of them up, dude. He came out of my body and went into the astral space and just it would look like a video game. Like he just started machine guns, just spikes all over my body, boom, boom, lightning, thunder, explosions. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker is ultra powerful. And then he goes down like, you know, like, ah! And then he comes out of the astral space and jumps back on my body, just sitting there. So this motherfucker is active. He's active. He's alive. The motherfucker is damn near the most powerful motherfucker in this whole world. Way more powerful than Thor. I got this motherfucker washing my dishes right now, bro. I got Thor on his knees begging right now, beating the fuck out of this dude, throwing him around and shit like a rag doll. So there you have it. He is a fucking joke. And he's a liar, and I'm exposing this to all of you. You know, I got rid of that Thor shit. We ain't gonna move it. So if there's any slight slowing to the production, the website, the idea of t-shirts, the figurines, all that got Thor comfortable enough to start showing his true colors, because this motherfucker's so smart that when he think that I'm dumb enough, he's gonna move, but he's not watching the aircraft carrier. He's watching the bogey. He thinking, but I'm like, she's not gonna let nobody fuck with me. So then when he, you know what I mean? So his guard comes down, all this stuff, and then he starts looking shadier, and it's just like, nah, you're busted. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's a pretty clever dude, but he's just full of shit, like all the way. And I think he's gonna get put to death or something because he's just fucked up. He's just a fucked up ass dude. Like you can't even begin to see somebody that smiles in your face like that for a long time, and then suddenly they try to like sell you up the river. But yeah, he's not my dad. I'm actually his dad. So yeah, that's why I'm more powerful than him, and that's why I have his hammer over here. You know what I'm saying? You can't see it, but I can see it with my third eye. Like it's like all blue and shit, like the blue flame or whatever. But it's mine now, so he can't have his own hammer back. So, so that's what it is. And then he shows up. I say, "Now go do this," and he walks out with his head down. He does everything I tell him to do. So yeah, isn't that a rude awakening? And I did all this shit in front of them, and they like, "Oh my gosh, bro." Like they couldn't even believe it. And then this motherfucker showed up. I made his ass beat his own self 10 million times. Then he shows up. Then I made him do the same. They all down there eating themselves and beating themselves, regenerating and then doing it again. And then they do it again. That's what they're doing right now. They're eating themselves. And if they're not physically doing it, they're doing it in the astral space. Either one. So stay tuned for more Grim Nasty TV as we bring on the Mickey Mouse. Because when you get awake, you stay away from the fakes, and you stay awake. Yeah, they were all cheering 42. What a bunch of fucking shitheads. Liars.